Yo, haha, Miltnificent. What is good, YouTube? Your boy Miltnificent coming back with another quick video. Today I got the AE1 Velocity Blues, Anthony Edwards' first signature shoe with Adidas, and your boy is stoked to have this because I finally get to do the comparison with James Harden Volume 8, at least the luxury, I want to call it the luxury green, or I call it lucky green. Because, you know, some people are saying that there's some tech specs that are a little bit different from the AE1s to Harden. Of course, Adidas continues their basketball signature shoe lineup that consists of, you know, Dame Dollar, if I'm not mistaken, Trae Young, you got Donovan Mitchell, you got James Harden, and of course, you have Anthony Edwards. So for him to have his first signature shoe, I will say this. Adidas is definitely investing more in their basketball players in terms of tech specs, because most companies typically they don't invest too much technology in the first signature shoe because they want to see how, you know, the sales are, kind of get a feel of whether they can invest more technology in future releases. So for the fact that Adidas just went all out on Anthony Edwards in his first signature shoe, I'm going to show you guys what exactly I am talking about. So with that said and done, man, let me get this out because I felt like by design, the fact that they gave him a pull-out drawer is amazing. And I was able to get a size 13 for the Velocity Blues. With that said and done, man, when you look at the actual logo, I do want to talk about this first because the design and the creativity that they put towards this is kind of, it amazes me because you're looking at the logo itself, and you're looking at but you're looking at like an ant hill. So think of like an ant hill. And of course, you got the 5 ridges on the actual logo. The 5 ridges for his number 5. If you think about it, when he went to college, he went to Georgia and he wore the number 5. When he got drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves, he wore number 1, but the Stardom got his number 5 back. So, you know, you can see that right there. And of course, you can see the A design as well as the E if you look carefully towards the bottom left. I felt like this was definitely executed to perfection. It was very creative. I noticed the 5 lines on both sides of the actual shoe, and they could, again, indicate his number 5. So, your boy Miltnificent, man, let's take a look at the AE1 Velocity Blues. Of course, he got the pull-out drawer treatment. Your first signature shoe, you got the pull-out drawer. That's dope. So let me open this up because you can see right there. Of course, they gave it kind of like a wax style. I'll probably have a picture right here. I don't want this to fall out, but they gave it like a wax style feel that has the Adidas logo. And I'm guessing, I want to say that this is Ant's signature, if you can see that. Again, I'll have a picture right here. So I'm going to pull these out real quick. Man, they gave this the whole... Man, oh man. All right, let's take a look at the AE1 Velocity Blues because I felt like when I first saw the actual shoe, and my initial thought was, okay, I'm just going to wait for a colorway that's just going to pop, and I felt like the Velocity Blues was just that. Now, before we get into the shoe, I did want to do a little quick comparison in terms of weight because a lot of people were saying that the Volume 8 Harden was a lot less in terms of weight versus the AE1, and I'll say that to say this. Harden shoe, where it's back heavy, where the heel and it looks like the foam that they use, the jet boost that they use, kind of puts weight towards the heel, so it does weigh less. Not like a lot less, but it weighs a little bit less than the AE1s, where the AE1s, they decided to use boost and Light Strike foam technology and kind of fuse it together. I do remember that. I want to say his name was Shoe Surgeon, and what he did was he split the shoe in half to try to figure out how much foam consisted of the boost versus the actual Light Strike. So it is what it is, but that's how the midsole is constructed with the AE1. I will say this, from a feel standpoint, you will feel more balanced. There's more containment with the AE1s. When I had a chance to put these on, man, it feels good. And of course, what they did is give you like this synthetic fabric towards the vamp. And then you can see this textile upper. Of course, with this rubberized outsole. And I want to say that this is like an enlarged herringbone traction design because a lot of this kind of looks almost like the Yeezy 700 V3. I'll do like a comparison, but it definitely has likeness towards like a Yeezy. But at the same time, on the side panels, I feel like this honeycomb TPU or polyurethane design, it's definitely useful because I'm kind of pressing this down so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's able to move around, and I felt like this is part of the futuristic portion that kind of took me off. And when they were talking about like the design itself and the ventilation, I kind of took a little bit step further because I wanted to see where the ventilation actually existed. And I was able to put a light into it so you can see that not all of this, when you look at the side panels, both the interior and exterior, you really don't see the vamp, or you don't see the, I want to say the vamp, you don't see the airflow throughout the actual side panel. So this honeycomb design, you're probably going to see it much like, and yeah, of course I have a picture and video right here. You'll see like the ventilation actually exists kind of like in small areas of the actual shoe. Not all of it is exposed, but a good portion of it is exposed for your foot. And of course, they give us these rope style laces. And I will be doing a lace swap towards the end of the video when I do the on feet, so you can see that green. Of course, it does matches the embroidered Adidas logo that you see on the back. It does have a double, kind of like a double heel plate support, because you'll feel the support towards the heel on the exterior as well as the interior of the shoe. There's definitely double padding going on, and that's going to take some time to get used to. I just want to put that out there. But once you break it in, man, it feels good. And of course, when you look at the actual tongue towards the interior, you're going to see these 4 eyelets that actually are kind of exposed within this nylon tongue that has the AE1 or the Anthony Edwards logo on it. It's actually some foam kind of at the bottom, but this tongue is attached to the actual upper or the textile portion of the shoe, along with 2 elastic straps on each side. Again, this is kind of helping you put your containment towards the foot. So when you're making your cuts and you're going up in the air, I feel like you're more balanced in the air coming down versus a James Harden shoe. Like, I feel like Harden, because it's back heavy, it doesn't really restrict you from doing anything, but you'll feel a little bit more freedom of movement, in my opinion, in terms of containment with structure and the design with the AE1s. And this actually, in my opinion, might be the basketball shoe of the year, just because of the tech specs that they utilized, the execution that they did. It definitely is going to rave a lot of attention, I'll put it that way. Another thing about this shoe is when you look at the bottom, you'll see that it's much like the Harden Volume 8, because that foam is exposed on the outsole as well as the inside. So when you take the insole out, you're able to see the part of the foam exists all the way through the bottom of the shoe. So with that said and done, man, and of course you do have that Adidas logo at the bottom. And I imagine that when they transition to the AE2 series, that you're going to see more of Anthony Edwards logo around the shoe. I could definitely see that, but I'm curious to see what they're going to do in the future. But for right now, the AE1, in my opinion, the Velocity Blues, this shoe is fire to me. That's all I have to say. But comment below, let me know what you think about the AE1 Velocity Blues. And then I'll do that on feet with the lace swap so you can see everything. Of course, I love the color matching, man. Green on the actual Adidas, green on the actual tongue, and of course, green at the bottom of the shoe, as well as the lace swap. Listen, Anthony Edwards, keep doing your thing. Big fan of this guy, man, on the court and his personality off the court, because it's going to transition throughout the NBA, and he's definitely an upcoming superstar. He will be a household name. Mark my word. I feel like he's going to be a household name. Give it about 5 years. But a lot of people will be Anthony Edwards. Hopefully he comes to the Sixers. I kind of had to throw that in there. I'm a Sixers fan. But your boy Miltnificent, man. Anthony Edwards, AE1 Velocity Blues. Let's do that on feet. And you guys, stay blessed.